Want to testing?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm in.
You got the title, Yacho.
Yep, connecting, sharing, and hopefully inching towards finding a last solution for Zimbabwe and its suffering people. Yes, I like that title. That's a good one.
So that the form over substance. Saga people are worried about the form, not substance, not the content of your character.
Mm-hmm.
But kuna apartheid. They're worried about what you look, what skin color you have,
Mm.
not about your humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's a discrimination by you wearing the face of a madman.
Mm.
People automatically take you to be mad. They don't treat what you're saying seriously.
Yes, that's discrimination. Really.
That's discrimination.
Yes. That's an
And
opinion. It is.
it
But I
happened.
could do. Mm. Yeah. But why wanochidaro mudara?
That's human nature. So you can introduce the subject.
Mm-hmm.
So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, start.
Thank you. On my side, it's showing me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Thank you very much. And welcome to Bukrebenzi, hashtag C2C. My name is Mukoma Masimba. I was born in Zimbabwe. That is my only relationship with Zimbabwe, place of birth. I am a human being. There was a time I used to think I'm a Zimbabwean, but I learned that from Mr. Mawere, there's nothing called a Zimbabwean. After I learned that, it's hard for me to explain to my dear brothers and sisters, to my friends, but I'll do it in my book Rebels. I'm writing my book because I'm upset. I'm very upset. I'm angry. Yes, and today I'm with my mentor, Mr. Mawere. Dara, what do you say, Dara?
Hey, fine. And you? How was your day?
Dara, I'm putting my work on, Dara. I'm trying,
That's,
Dara. Yeah.
that's a good start.
But Dara, what I learned, Dara, I want to share with my friends, but in a bus. But I'll do it in book Rebels. No book, it's a novel. It's a digital book. Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, Dara, you provoked me, Dara. You made me angry, Dara. But I also like, Dara, why must not show? Why, Dara? This is 2020 now. We are talking about 2005. Why 15 years, Dara? This is not my signals. The judicial have been captured by Mugabe. Why, Dara?
No, I think it's only when you are injured that you need a doctor. So it's experiences, as you saw today. You wrote an article and the editor refused to publish it. And the reasons used are reasons that you can see through, that a person is saying, I cannot put a headline, Yomuno Anopenga. So the people who are okay are already in the platform. They don't have the time to give up. Like Mandela had to give up his privacy and become a public figure, not because he wanted to be a public figure, but he knew that the only way to change the circumstances was for him to be part of the problem
Mhm.
and to see himself as one of many. So it's not easy for people to climb down and become part of many because it takes time. You write something and expect people to take it forward and publish it so that the people may be able to enjoy or to see the world through your own eyes. But today you saw that this was not possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So there are many people who would refuse to follow you because genuinely they think you are insane. And therefore, there is no need to write a story until they can confirm that you are okay. So the editor was saying, Mkoma Masimba, we want like Ziramawere Titi, his age mates are on.
Mdara, don't read those comments, Mdara. You know what? They make me upset, man. Let's focus on the topic.
Yeah,
Mdara, ndanyora article yangu ndasenda pana hapa Mdara. Look at my article ndanyora. Book rebels
yeah,
#CTC.
yeah.
Right?
So this is, yeah,
But
okay,
this
I can see.
editors, vanoramba kuipublisha because ndiri benzi. Is it about how I look or what I'm saying, Mdara? Kandiri benzi, are you telling me mental people or people with mental issues, they've got no right to say anything? Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, let's say I'm mentally uh, disabled. Does it mean I have no right to speak? I can't write, I can't post, I cannot be published? It doesn't make sense to me. That's discrimination, Mdara. If you are to say, okay, Ndinopenga, that's fine. But what am I saying? Is it about how I look or what am I saying?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, Mdara.
Yeah. So it's varied, but the people are judging you by what they hear and know.
Saka Mdara,
Yeah.
Mdara, yeah, moon, Mdara. You know, I'm just pulling my
Mhm.
work. I've learned to
Yeah.
respect people's choices. I'll just focus on pulling my wagon. You can't tell me in 2005, Justice Makarau, yes, Wakaita in 2005, right? Those are called signals. He actually showed me Mugabe have captured the justice system. The judiciary is captured. So why not correcting that mistake in 2020? We are focusing on Mnangagwa. But there are lots of signals before Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is actually a creature of being of those things, Mdara. Is it because the people they don't read, don't research, or what? I don't know.
Hello?
Yes, Mdara.
Yeah. So I think if you look at what happened today, it shows you that there's a lot of work to be done.
There's a lot, Mdara. Pane Basa, Zimbabwe is in a shit war. Shit war. But again, people they blame Mnangagwa. I'm like, no. When you start to look at yourself, what have you done? You start to also blame yourself as well. Because Mnangagwa is actually a product of your ignorance. You Zimbabwean people. I don't even live there, Mdara. I was only born there.
Yeah.
I'm only trying to highlight them to show them what are the problems. What is a problem? So that things can be corrected.
Yeah.
Then these journalists they come. They don't want to write about me because our audience will say, on your beings. But the same journalism that they want me to interview me in their own ways. I'm pulling my wagon. I can't go into their wagon.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the.
yeah.
So I think that's where you are. What can be done?
So this journalism that you are my mentor. He came to me, he gave me questions to answer. Then in him that I structured my book ribbons. The only way you can talk to me, you meet me live. Here, they don't want to come, but they want to ask me questions. What can I do, Mdara? Because I cannot break my promise. I said, in the Amulupa live. If you're a journalist, you want to interview me, come live and interview me here. They don't want to do that. They'll send me WhatsApp messages. Right? Now they are coming now. But Mdara, I've got structures here. You have to meet me live. But there's nothing called a secret. Why should I send those WhatsApp messages? Then you publish, then what? Come here. That's book rebels. Rebels. And now we're wearing a message at you. We're saying a
But
pan, but they don't do that.
but issue that you have touched on, some people think you are playing Justice Makarau because she's a woman. And they are saying that you have no skin in this dispute. You are being used because of your mental condition. What do you have to say to that?
I can answer the mental condition. I was in psychiatric ward for 3 weeks and I was discharged. Then they put me back to the community. Mentally, I'm fit, Mdara. I took myself to the hospital for 2 reasons. Number one, ndakanda lose weight. Ndakanda gara pa road isingadyi. Then my brother tended asked my brother, I want you to go to hospital. So he wanted me to go to hospital to start to gain my body, this flesh, to fix my flesh. Then in it, I also had other idea. I wanted to see the psychiatrist. Then I ended up there, and I stayed in psychiatric ward for 2 weeks to test. I wanted them to test me because I told them I'm fighting for Zimbabwe. So I wanted them to test me. Am I mentally fit to say those words? And they discharged me. Said, Simba, you look good, and good luck with your idea of fighting for Zimbabwe. From our side, we've done our part. So mentally, that I'm fine and fit. I'm outside right now. I'm in the community. There's no way Australia doctors can release me to the community if I'm a psycho. There's no way.
But on this issue, as Mason asked yesterday, you are not a lawyer. Why are you concerned about the judiciary?
I am concerned because I thought lawyers were going to do the job. But the same lawyers, they are now politicians. They are not doing their job. Right? Rita Makarau, mukoti yake, ndakaverenga judgment ya Rita Makarau. Right now, I think what's a title now? What's a position? She's one of the Constitutional Court Justice Judge. I don't even know the title.
She's an acting judge of the Constitutional Court, but also a candidate for the permanent position.
A candidate, Rita Makarau, in 2005. Ndara, I read the judgment. She is a judge. Anokwanisa kuita justice. Do basaraki. That's why I under oath. It's not about what Mugabe said, what Chinamasa is saying. Hey, Rita, in your court, Rita, you as a judge, we need that power to correct any errors, the law. But guess what? She ignored it. She has been captured. Judicial has been captured since 2005.
Why do you say judiciary when you can be specific to one judge?
It's Rita
Right?
Makarau. There was an appeal. You did an appeal. You went to Jigausiku. Jigausiku Mdara was our role model to Kuchkoro. I remember my A-level students wanted to do law.
what do you find objectionable for judgment? Yeah, Justice Makarao.
Makarao number one, akati iye Mawere, because you are specified, you are disabled, you are nobody. I'm not gonna listen to you. You have David. Have David simply means it's like you are representing yourself. It's either you go to court or you do have David or you send a lawyer. Three. Akatoramba kuti Mawere, you are nobody. You have been specified. But she, as a justice here, Rita Makarao, she knows that everybody who comes to court is innocent. Mdaraka, I get upset.
So if she is wrong in the interpretation of the law and wrong on facts, why should you take an issue with her? What are the principles that you think were offended by her judgment?
Ndara. Judiciary. I quote Martin Luther King. Right? All men are created equally. The only way Mdara, whereby inine way Mdara, tigarisane zvakanaka. Tine mtemo. Mtemo yo Mdara must be. That's called justice. Your judiciary. Once judiciary ikatemba ne judiciary, Mdara ndosaka Zimbabwe yaputika takatemba ne judiciary. Mugabe captured. Mugabe is the president by then. The judiciary, they must be independent. That's a bank of justice. Right?
So what makes you conclude that Justice Makarau then was not independent and impartial?
She dismissed you without hearing you. She never gave a chance of you. She just said straight away, you Mawere, you are specified, you are disabled, you are nobody. I cannot even hear your side. But you Mawere again, you are a black man again, a citizen of Zimbabwe. The question comes, people they think it's white people versus the black, but it's black versus the black.
No, but
So,
I just wanted to talk to you, bro.
Yep.
Because
I'm just on a video call. Can I come see you soon?
Yeah.
I'll come see you soon. Yep. No worries, brother. I'll come see you soon, brother. Cheers, brother. Jeez, my brother. Your love. Go ahead, Mr. Boyd.
Now I'm saying, who were the parties in the dispute?
It was Zimre, not you. Because someone called Chinamasa, he managed to connect the dot to say Zimre is Mawere. But Mawere is not involved in operation of Zimre.
No, I'm saying it's on the face of the case, who were the parties? Number one, who was the party?
It's THZ.
THZ Holdings.
Yep. And Kuvambana.
UKI, Ukubambana Kubatana Investments.
Yes, those THZ, Ukuvambana, right? Those two will be, that's Zimre now.
No.
Zimre Life.
There is THZ Holdings and the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange and Zimri. So those were the parties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where does Mawere come in there?
Someone called Patrick Chinamasa. By then, he was, I think, the Minister of Justice or something to do with the Justice Judiciary. Ndara ndiribenzi mdara, but ndikona idea Chinamasa. Vangoti akagara muofisi make, vangoti Mawere uya we SMM, ndiye futi Mawere we Zimre. Saka nditori futi Zimre yacho. Then Mawere akataiwa ka. Ine handine ine zva Zimre. Let me do my affidavit, maisa kuna Rita Makarau. That's all I can say, Papukere means.
No, I'm saying is let's get the facts, Papukure Ben, so the facts are that there were three institutions, organizations, not persons.
Okay, Mdara, I want you, Mdara, again. I'm sorry. You're going to repeat yourself again. Teach us, Mdara. Zimri, THZ, Africa Resource Limited, and the Mawere. Relationship.
No,
Demystify
I'm
it, Mdara.
saying
In
Zimri.
layman's language. Zimri. Yep.
Zimri.
Zimri kama kadzimba izo kuzimri.
Yeah, Zimri Park, I think it was.
Yakawakwa ne Zimri, right? There was project in Zimri.
I think Pani project is Zimri.
So who
Zimri
is this
is
Zimri? Who is Zimri?
Zimbabwe Reinsurance. It's a
Yani, Zakatanga Sivi.
company involved in providing insurance and reinsurance services.
Since when?
It's for a long time. It was initially owned by the government, then they
But the government,
privatized it.
okay? Then the
Yeah,
government privatized it. Okay, so the government
yeah,
privatized it.
that's right.
So then after they privatized it, who became the owners of Zimri? Who bought Zimri from government?
Zimri was then listed on the stock exchange, and part of the private.
What does it mean to be listed on stock exchange? That you teach him that.
It means my shares and have a good trade per stock exchange,
Okay.
like Sydney Stock Exchange. Or you can buy and sell my shares per stock exchange. So it was listed on the stock exchange, and UKI bought some shares, and Angel Properties bought some shares. So they became the two largest shareholders combined with 46%. So the only way to take over the company was to propose a rights issue. So rights issue, people who already have my shares in the company are the ones who can subscribe to the share offer. I open one of a Simon company.
Okay.
It open
The
with my
rest issue.
existing share.
Okay, the rest issue. Yes.
No rights issue. Then also to approve that the shares not taken up would be under the control of directors who can then dispose of them without going back to shareholders. So that deal was meant to dilute Endurite and UK's shareholding, because Wanga to specify the two companies. And a dispute then arose as to who represents Endurite and UKI. And in terms of the Reconstruction Act, Warazimba then approached the court to intervene. In terms of the Reconstruction Act, any company associated with Mawere is deemed to be under reconstruction.
Who is this Gwarazimba? Giani, Arukobi Gwarazimba.
Ariko ku Zimbabwe ndiye akapinda naChinamasa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arafat.
Yeah.
Okay. Mutumwa atumwa wala Chinamasa. Okay. Ari kuita basa rake. Okay. Kwa Chinamasa watu anokwapoenda munhu pachinhu chemunhu sei.
Yeah.
Chinamasa anogo apoenda munhu mubedroom memunhu sei. Ipapa ndipazivise papa. How did you get the power to put Gwarazimba on someone's project?
They passed a law, the reconstruction of state indebted insolvent companies. It was started
So
as
this law passed in which year? 2004 or 5?
Yeah.
So it was passed in Parliament.
2004.
In Parliament.
In Parliament, yeah.
Then in Landry MDC member. Ndine maparliamentarians angu akari mu parliament machemomo. Lo yakati pass pa imomo wakagara wakatarisa wakanyara tungoona so.
There were cheerleaders for some opposed it, but
then because the majority, ZANU-PF majority.
The majority was ZANU-PF.
Is it about the majority or is it about doing the right thing? Like Julius Malema does not have majority in parliament, but when he sees a wrong thing, he fights it. How come our politicians in Zimbabwe, they don't do that, Mdara? Malema is not majority in parliament, but when he sees a wrong thing, you stand up and fight. Right?
Yeah.
But how come, can you see MDC Young in my party? Right? Because you're not majority. There is a wrong thing happening there in parliament. Then they'll keep quiet. Then they'll say, put us in power first, then we fix everything. Then I'm like, how can you go to power when the judiciary is captured? Simple. This is 2004. Those are called signals. When you ignore a signal, you are doing nothing. It's a no-through road. ZANU-PF is telling you, Zimbabwe, it's a no-through road. Only Mugabe in power only. Then they are sitting there. They are lawyers, some of them.
I'm saying you are now introducing other people. Let's just look at the judge who presided over the matter.
Yes.
Was Justice Rita Makarao.
Correct.
Yeah. And the matter was litigated. The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange was represented by a lawyer. THZ was represented by the lawyer. And Zimri was represented by a lawyer. So lawyers...
And Tendebit was one of them. Tendebit was one of them, my brother. Tendebit was one of them.
Yeah, it's true that Tendai Biti was the lawyer representing the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Okay.
And he was working for Hanen Blankenberg at the time. So he did represent and accepted the judgment. Did not raise any issue in respect of the judgment.
He did not what?
After the court is closed, he was acting for a client and he was not under any instruction to pursue the matter. So his job ended after the ruling by justice.
Tendai Biti, you were there, Tendai Biti, my brother. But zvangopera mukoti because you know why Mdara? Because angachiti iye zvandabhadharwa mari ndapedza basa rangu. But Tendai Biti, you are today a leader of opposition. You know this judiciary was captured and you are quiet. Mdara mufonere again. Takataka kufonera nezuro. Nakumubvunza kuti Tendai Biti, I want to ask you a question. Please, Mdara, mufonere biti. Ndokubira one abo fonere wabiti.
No, it's late. It's already to go off.
Please. Mdara ndikuda kuti kamuti biti kutsvagwa nebenzi.
No, I'm saying right now.
Anyway, let's focus on the topic. Yeah,
as a lawyer, he can't go to court on behalf of a person who is not authorized him. So he was authorized to act on behalf of the stock exchange and that he did, and the matter was lost.
Ndara pane
So
point andikuona mndara mukiona ile point yangu kuti iye biti at least akakwanisa kutovona kuti zvaitika panapo komana, this is era of law from Rita Makarau akazviona, but he kept quiet about it. Quiet. Vatoti vote
no,
for me, vote for me, vote for me.
What if he says, let us remove the current people in government, then I will then take up the matter.
But he's not telling us why we should remove them. And what? Hey. But for examples like this.
Even my leaders, Saka as leaders, they have a better knowledge of what should be a priority. So the priority is to remove ZANU-PF or President Mnangagwa. So his focus is on President Mnangagwa rather than on these issues that he may consider to be not important or peripheral. So ivo vakamaka munhu, and that would appear to be their strategy. Kuti regai tipedze naMnangagwa, tapedza naye, then everything else will follow.
Yeah, vakamaka Messi, vakutangita Barcelona, vakutangita Messi as a player. Messi akaiswa pabench kuchaita sei, like they are practicing a match, they are preparing to mark, vakumaka Messi, makafocus on Messi. Then moenda kugame Messi kuti haamubhora macho muchaita sei.
But you are kutika isusu tiri leaders. Saka if we decide that this issue is not important, you must follow that. So
yeah, leadership.
You uribenziwe, urukusenzeswa, urukuitiswa, amawere nyaya inesu.
But mawere anogonishandisa sei kwendine judgment andakabata. A judgment yapinda mukoti kazvi. How can mawere use me? I have judgment here. In Rita Makarau, you were talking bullshit. You Rita Makarau. I've got judgment here, V11 ndinaro. Nokona mdara. Nokona dambudziko ndiro mdara. Yeah, munhu. Kana munhu anofocus nemari, which is good. But anoita utsinye. Utsinye ihoho uchacreate kuti umwe mwana ashupike mdara. You see? I want you to make your money and enjoy your money. But don't make your money at a cost on someone. Mwezo mdara baba. Ipapo mdara ipapo ndinojamuka manje. Ndinojamuka ini manje. Azviite mdara.
Yeah.
Nema Makarau. Hanzvadzi yangu Rita Makarau. I'll tell you a story mdara. Let me tell you a story. Why is it that I was so touched? I was so angry. Mdara, when I was in high school, I was trying to date a girl from Glenview. Okay? That was one of the best girls. Because Angari more academic. Right? I ended up with a lawyer. She was inspired by Rita Makarau. Right? Mwana yenda kamtola for a date. Takaenda ku high court. Right? Unakuona Rita Makarau ari court as teenagers. Right? Ndara takasvika paya pa high court mdara. Atina ma-ID. Amukwanisi that aiwa. Ndakati ini ndawe nemusikana wangu. Ndawe neshamwari yangu. She just wanna see kungomuona chete. I said, don't worry, she's gonna drive out soon. Takamira panze paya mdara achibuda nebenzi yake. Mwana akascreama. Akafara. Rita Makarau akastopa. Rita Makarau. It was me, Simba. Ni mwana Glenview. Akati, I want to be like you. Akangoti work hard, be focused. Unozvita ndinobva kumabvuku ya from Glenview. Mdara ndakamuona Rita Makarau mdara. Right? Then I'll tell you a story again mdara. That mwana anatry to ask out from Glenview. She was best friends na Regina Mabwe. Regina Mabwe ndiye the lawyer akamirira Dr. Shumba pa constitutional court here. Advocate Mabwe. She's from Glenville, right? She grew up with us, right? Yeah, that's young one way. Regina Mabwe. Could I tell lawyer Regina Mabwe? Inyaya Rita Makarau, inspired by Rita Makarau, the first black female judge in Zimbabwe. Then Rita Makarau, I promise Havana Ava, the same Rita Makarau over breaker, all three acting. Can you see how angry I am? Tina advocate Mabwe, Regina Mabwe. The one Regina Mabwe, I can't meet up a case here, my elections here. That Regina Mabwe. She's my sister from Glenville. From the same church, SDA. Mwana wa mai wangu ya. Mai wangu akamuspota mwana ya kudara wati mwana wangu Regina Mabwe. Mwana ya ngari focus, ari inspired na Rita Makarau. Then angani shamwari yake. Ndio nenda kuda shamwari yake man. Head off to Rita Makarau hizo. Then I took that girl.
But now you are offside.
No, I'm not offside. I'm telling you why I'm so angry with Rita Makarau. Rita Makarau, what she promised
be angry on the principles that are involved. Here we have a judge who is employed to do a job to resolve or to determine disputes. And as you said, instead of dealing with the merits of the case, she chose to use the specification status of a witness to a crime. Imagine you are the witness to a murder. Are you the murderer?
No.
If you are a witness to an accident, you sign the affidavit only in relation to the facts of the accident.
Yes.
And no one else can do that. So even if you are specified, it doesn't affect the accident.
Yes.
All you have to do is to record.
Yep.
But
right what you see. Yep.
Went further and said, if you have a case and the person who witnesses the facts to the case deposes to an affidavit, then the court can dismiss the whole application based on that. So that's what some people may not know. So when you say we are equal before the law, what Makarau said, if you are specified, you are no longer competent. And Mason, check your inbox, Mason. Check your WhatsApp.
Check your WhatsApp, Mason. Kudara. Yeah. Yeah, let's go, Mdara. Go ahead, Mdara.
All right. So that's what is there to say. Look, the judge said the doors of court are closed to anyone who chooses a wrong witness.
Mdara, amsasa ndibata point yangu Mdara. Ndakukutsana ngureya. Enga yangu iri emotional. Ndine vasikana two Glenville Mdara. One ndi Regina Mabwe. Right? Mugoogle Regina Mabwe. Mpaka msikuza rutara Mdara. She's now an advocate. Advocate wake akauita. Achifocus on Rita Makarau. Chatomti Rita Makarau Glenville mwane. Chatomti Rita aigopeka na Rita Makarau. Right? Then shamwari yake Regina Mabwe. But Glenville I won. I was trying to date that girl. But because she was focused on school, Simba, I want to finish school first. Then we do love after. What did I do? I took her to High Court as part of our dating to see Rita Makarau. Takatomuona chubudale penzi yake pa mageti paya. Takatomumisa. Akatoti mwana wangu. Akati my young sister. I'm from Mavuku. You can do it. Be focused. Right? Blah, blah, blah. Mwana akafara na Rita Makarau. Then the same Rita Makarau Mdara. Only this judgment. That what's your money, Mdara man. That what's your Mdara man. That was Joman. What
Yeah.
he promised me, and what I've seen, that was Jomdara. That was Jomdara. Anyway, Brother Mason, welcome.
Allah mukoma masimba makadi ko makadi maswera say.
Thank you, my brother. I've got journalist. I wrote an article. Then we forwarded it to the journalist. Then they refused to publish it because in the rebates. Then they came back to me with the question. They want me to answer their questions. Then I'm like, Ndara, you are my mentor. What can I do? I wrote an article. To them, they refused to publish it. The same people are coming back to say, Masimba, answer this question. They want me to do the way they want. They want me to be that. They want to take me from Ubenzi to become that professional guy. Mason, I'm not like that, man.
Right. Mukoma masimba ndichangosvika iko zvino. Obviously, ndandine mfano wangu I was with my boy, but arara iko zvino. Barichi, can you just give me a quick summary? Manyora article kuna journalist. Then a journalist akadzoka akati we can't publish it. Is that okay? Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Saka, why would the journalist not publish an authentic story like yours?
Ask him, Ndara.
Right. Good evening, Mr. Mawere. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, and thank you for having me. And I'm really apologize for coming late on this very, very important, and I have to stress this very, very important conversation. And this is a conversation that every Zimbabwean, home and abroad in Zimbabwe or diaspora, has to get involved and has to listen. So how is everything, sir?
Fine. Let me just read to you what was the conversation.
Yeah.
So you can then judge for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The journalist, the editor, is the one who I was trying to talk to. He read the article, and this was his comment. Quite an interesting take. That is Mkoma Masimba. That's his comment.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Mkoma Masimba passionately believes in what he believes. Then I responded, he does. He believes in the cause of justice. Would you please forward this to him? Those were the questions. I would do. Wonderful. In the meantime, you can proceed to publish this one. He says the content is the same as what was published yesterday. The difference is not material. So he says there was another article that was published yesterday, and he couldn't republish the same content. I said the difference is material in that the actor, who is Mkoma Masimba, is a principal in his own story. That links the Facebook Live that you did with him yesterday to the print version, to the print media. Yesterday, it was Brian who was the principal, and now it is Mkoma Masimba who is articulating his position as set out in the video link. Because I was telling him yesterday that when you give people the video link, sometimes people don't want to go through the video because sometimes it's too long and they miss a lot. So if there are key pointers, like every video you do, you promote it like a miniskirt. Just provide sufficient information for people to want to get into what is hiding.
Yeah, like a miniskirt. Repeat that one. Repeat the point.
It must be short enough to cover the subject and long enough to arouse interest.
Your part is a good quote. Miniskirt.
That don't the miniskirt. miniskirt, right?
Yeah, short enough to cover the subject.
Just short enough, not too long, not too short. Just enough, just to get a gist, just enough.
Yeah.
Right.
And to a large extent, the content is exactly the same. For the
Okay.
sake of the audience, now he's talking on behalf of the audience.
Mhm.
It will be best to have a developing story that has other angles and inputs. Then I responded, we can try it out because the audience may be interested
Yeah.
in the messenger rather than the message.
Mhm.
The issue that the messenger is not the likely one or the usual suspect. The issue is that the messenger, Mukoma Masimba, is not the likely one to comment on legal matters or
Yeah.
constitutional matters. What would be the prejudice of trying this approach so that the gap in the appropriate messengers can be bridged? Because whenever you talk about technical issues or judgments, people want to default to experts. The message, unfortunately, needs ambassadors, even though it may be the same. We are trying to build new voices,
Mpana uyu ndiye mlidzo utera mpana rapo.
and
Dara.
it takes
Dara
time.
moyo
Yeah.
sorry. Mpana ngari hapa ndiye mlidzo utera mpana hiyo. Quiet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are trying to build new voices.
Quiet
And
mdara.
I'm
Mpana ndiye mlidzo utera kachi kwa mtemo. It's a quiet
yeah,
mdara. Yep.
Wanamkoma Masimba.
Mhm.
It takes time and repetition to get the message to sink. Otherwise, people would want sophisticated voices of learned people, when the reality is that the very learned people, like judges, behave as if they are not learned or criminals. Then, wonderful. Then I reported back to him. I have shared with Mkoma Masimba, and I guess he's sleeping now. However, I note from your questions that you wish to focus on Mkoma Masimba. My thinking is that it is only through his mind that people may change their perception of him.
Mhm.
He has already admitted that he is learning. I watched the video with Mason attached to the article, and I can see that he has depth and understand the issues. And for now, it will be better to focus on issues rather than the person. You can then see the reactions and work from there. He is already known through his social media messages of who he is and who he is pretending to be.
Mhm.
Then I'm sure you agree that it may be premature. Then he says, no, to us, he also becomes a new subject because he's covering critical issues like Changirai coming to the political stage when so many learned people couldn't face Mugabe. Then I said, I'm sure you will agree that it may be premature to make him the subject. And I would propose that you focus on issues, and the C2C initiative is the laboratory of ideas and issues rather than promote pop stars.
Mhm.
So that was the conversation.
So that was a conversation. Okay.
So the other thing is that we can also organize a column from
Mhm.
Koma Masipa so that he can continue with his analysis.
Yeah.
The case without ZW News 24 seeming like it's rewriting the same story from different angles. Then I said, makes sense.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mukoma Masimba. Thank you very much, Mr. Mawere. And Mukoma Masimba as well, obviously. And thank you very much, Mr. Mawere, for the summary that you've given me. And a few things that I've touched upon, Mr. Mawere, and I've been taking notes. I've got a pen and paper. I always take notes when somebody's talking. I think, in my opinion, we need to reevaluate what is a journalist, and we need to reevaluate and have a critical analysis of what journalism is all about. And if you are a journalist, when you get information, it does not matter what the source is, or what the source looks like, or what the source what's the source language. What you want is the information. So forget about the mental, medical status of the person. Saka kana Mukoma Masimba, if he approach you with a story, regardless kuti Mukoma Masimba vanhu vanopenga, regardless kuti zviri kubva kuna brother Mason, kana regardless kuti zviri kubva kuna sister Sabina, kana kubva kuna Tenders, kana kuna Samaita, or somebody like Tendai Biti who is a legal lawyer, you are supposed to treat information that you get as a sensitive and a serious information. Saka, I know, Mr. Mawere, you don't like the word we, but I'm talking about we as a Zimbabweans. We need to reevaluate the journalism industry in Zimbabwe. What is a journalist? What is the purpose of a journalist? And what is the requirements of a journalist? If we can't answer those questions, we're not going to go anywhere. Because if I come with a story, it does not matter if it was a jurisdiction, a judgment that happened 5-10 years ago. But if I come with a story and I'm telling you, Kurichi, this is the new information and denial on this case that happened, whether a year or 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, as a journalist, you're supposed to publish this story and leave it to public opinion. That's what a journalist does. You do not make an opinion whether the information you are presented with is viable, is plausible, or is accurate or not. That's not your no. What you do is you just present the information, because we know as a journalist that information is not coming from you, it's coming from the source. Saka, in my opinion, Mr. Mawere, we need to reevaluate the journalism in Zimbabwe, first of all.
All right, and but have you understood what he is saying?
Well, I kind of understood what he is saying. Kuti Mukoma Masimba has got no technical or legal knowledge or accolade. It's like he's got no right to be talking about what he presented to him. And yes, so yeah, Taurain.
He is saying something else.
Okay, enlighten me, please, sir. Enlighten me.
He is saying that this article, though interesting, it is similar to the one that they published yesterday, and it was talking about Makarao. And he begs to differ that Mukoma Masimba is talking about the same thing. So he can't publish yesterday an article with Mukoma Masimba talking about the same judgment, today talking about the same judgment. Having looked at the article, he came to the conclusion that it will be duplication. But he has no objection to Mukoma Masimba writing his own articles, and then they would then carry it. But he felt it was not good. What we were arguing, I said yesterday, it was not an article about Mukoma Masimba. It was an article about me and another member of C2C. So it was a question and answer. But
Okay.
today's article was based on your conversation of yesterday, where you and Frank were making comments about Judge Makarao. So I thought that was introducing a new element. One person from Uganda, one person of Zimbabwe heritage who is in the UK, are talking about the same judgment, but using different lenses. And today, yesterday, you went through the Reconstruction Act to say on what basis would a company that is separate become associated with another, and the judge recognizes that. And secondly, the issue of specification, what is it? And incidentally, in that video, there are a lot of things to learn from your conversation with Koma Simba, including the fact that Mason, if you were to write an exam, he would fail the exam because he doesn't even remember the title of the law. Up to now, if I ask you what is that act, would you be able to remember it?
Not on the top of my head, but because I can just allude because of Matoti Reconstruction Act, but because there's a few legalities, legal terms after that.
No, I'm saying if you don't just say yes, I don't remember.
No, of course. No, I don't remember. No, definitely not.
So that's what we're talking about, that unless you repeat the thing so many times, people easily forget. Because there's no skin in the game. So when you are now trying to learn, you actually, if it's a Bible and a verse or chapter, you remember that.
Yeah.
Because you want to go to heaven. In this case, even though you say Makarao this, Makarao that, unless you force Mkwama Simba to repeat what he's saying, so that we get confidence that he's not just talking about Makarao contemptuously, so that he is discussing a judgment in the street. And people must understand where is the public interest, because judges are there to save the public. They are not there to become experts. Because in other countries, you have the jury system where ordinary people can be the ones who determine whether you are guilty or not. So the question of the law, it must pass the test of common sense, logic, and reason. And nobody goes to school to learn those things.
Well, Mr. Mawere, since we are having a dialogue, not a monologue, if I'm okay, can I interject some questions now and then? Is that okay?
No problem. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. In Zimbabwe, what is the legal protocol of making a jurisdiction? Does the judge make the ultimate decisions without the jury, or does it differ according to cases? What is the legal?
In Zimbabwe, there's no jury system. The judge makes a determination.
Okay, there's no jury. All right, right. Okay, so there's no jury. It's just the judge. Whether it's a criminal law, civil law, you go there. The judge will tell you you're guilty or not guilty.
That's right.
Right.
And if it's a higher court, then there will be a panel of judges.
Right. So this one, Mrs. Rita, is she a higher judge or is she just a normal?
She was at the time. She was a high court judge.
A high court judge.
So she was alone.
So all right. So she made a decision by herself. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Now, when she made her decision, obviously now, because I had a thorough look at this case. Obviously, she did not look at both sides. She did not even question. She did not have a critical analysis of the case. Was there a room for appeal when the judgment was done, Mr. Mawere?
It was appealed.
And what was the outcome?
That's the second part of it, where we finish with this primary judge, then we go on, to the next one. Otherwise, I spoil your interest.
Okay. Did you?
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
I'm breaking that up. I'm using Wi-Fi in Melbourne CBD. I'm on my way to the police station. I want to ask them about hunger strike because I don't feel appetite anymore. I'm upset. So I want to know, am I allowed to do hunger strike until Rita Makarao fix up the mistake in Tilda? So I'm going to the police station right now.
Well done, Mukoma Masiba. You
Mr. Mawere,
follow your
Dara,
heart.
what do you know about hunger strike, Dara? Is it something legal or illegal?
No, now you see, if you are talking about hunger strike, you know what you are doing now? You are departing from the subject matter and introducing a new one.
Mhm.
I'm angry, Mdara. When I'm angry, Mdara, I act. Zimbabwe is burning, right?
But
Because takapiwa ma
no,
signals, takama ignore. We ignore the signals. Rita Makarao gave us a signal. Komana, takept open up. We ignore.
yeah.
Vadona Mukoma Masiba.
I don't know, Mdara.
So I'm saying is right now, why
We
are
ignored the
you?
signals, Mdara. We were given a signal in 2005.
But
Takataulwa,
why are you angry with Rita Makarao?
Mdara, no waza. Rita Makarao, Mdara, I'll tell you, high school young Mdara, I want to tell you the truth. My puppy love. I got so much Rita Makarao. Takatomutora ngane by put kwatu Mdara. Rita Makarao is part of dating. And the same did this. Mdara, I'm very emotional.
No, I'm saying is why are you angry with an individual?
Dara, I'm angry because it's not about individual. It's about the constitution. The judiciary in Zimbabwe have been captured. I've got the effect now. I didn't have effect.
But why can't you just deal with one issue at a time?
Okay, let's do one
And
issue at a
then
time. But how do you expect me to eat in this judgment? I'm lazy at reading. I'm not doing anything.
yeah. So if that is the case, that you are taking responsibility for your own inadequacies, then that's the start.
Toda parliament party baba. Toda court party. Toda kuza majaji pa court party baba. Do you know in Zimbabwe kuni judgment yakadai? I want to hear the interpretation.
Do you have access to a lawyer there?
Yes, I've got access to a lawyer.
All right. And Mason, do you have access to a lawyer in the UK?
I have, but I don't need one, sir. Why would I need one?
I'll kill you out to have a.
No, I'm just saying is there. If
Nabukumbira forge pana baba. Nabukuwa forge kamdara pana. Utukumbira mogo ni asha. Ni just draw one please.
even
Yeah, I can draw it. Please, why just one?
I'm saying is
That's all I
that
have.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Thank you.
you are comparing
I know.
and contrasting and it.
Yeah.
Ndara, right now I'm in Australia. I'm in Melbourne CBD. I'm not in Zimbabwe. But they're waiting a judgment. What can I do? I'm a police or judgment. They actually what else are waiting is.
No, I'm saying right now, Mkoa Masimba, there are two things. One, there are people who are saying he deserves to be in a mental institution.
Okay.
And two, they are also saying that he is not, he is not competent to be able to comment on legal matters, even to make a judgment as to whether a judge is correct or not.
Okay.
So one is not qualified.
Right.
And why can't he leave these matters to lawyers and the litigants? Why does he have to interpose himself in a matter that doesn't involve him?
Okay.
So I only shared the judgment with him for him to read and
Yeah.
understand the Zimbabwe that he may not know. After Bishop Maponga had come here talking about things he didn't know.
Okay.
So even Bishop Maponga may not know this judgment. And even if he reads it, he may
Right.
come with a different conclusion.
Yeah.
Mm. So encourage him to
Right.
take medication regularly.
Yeah.
How do you encourage somebody to do what is good for him?
Well, if I can interject, Mr. Mawere, right? Mukoma Masimba, it is well documented that Mukoma Masimba was in a psychiatric ward, and Mukoma Masimba was released. He was released, and we are talking about psychiatrists, cognitive behavioral therapists. We are talking about doctors that know their stuff, and that released an individual into the community, which means according to their protocol and according to their understanding of mental health, Mukoma Masimba is fit and well to be in the community. Otherwise, he will be sanctioned and he will be in a closed premises. But the fact that Mukoma Masimba is roaming right now in the streets of Melbourne is because he's a free man and he has been deemed fit to be living in a community without no even supported living, but individual living without no support, no nothing. I don't know if he is under any medication or if they tell him to be taking regular medicine. I do not know that. But what I do know is that he is free and he is out there. Okay, so if the doctors who are qualified to be a doctor, you need to go through thorough education and training, and for them to come up with a conclusion, could this individual, one Mukoma Masimba, to be released in the community, they must have done their due diligence and find out he is fit and well. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when people are questioning could Mukoma Masimba is not competent to be talking about legal issues or be talking about such a sensitive issue, a high case sensitive issue like this, we're going to have to ask ourselves, what is the word, what is the meaning of the word competency? Who is qualified to be competent to be saying it? How about Brother Mason? I do not have any accolades. I do not have any qualifications. As a matter of fact, I'm not even a university graduate. Saga, how come I am talking about this case? So do I follow in the same category that I am incompetent to be talking about this case? Or am I going crazy? So there you go, Mr. Mawere.
All right. So I think that's a subject matter that we can obviously debate, but to be a citizen, you don't have to qualify. To know what is right or wrong, it's your choice.
Mr. Mawere, anzina abi mandishona wakaona report yema doctors here, right? Abi mandishona. I mean, listen. I don't want to be rude to you, and I don't want to be. I want to have a civil conversation with you, but use logic and reasoning. Logic and reasoning. Logic and reasoning. If a patient is released from a mental institute, what does that tell you? Abi Mandishora, what does that tell you? If a mental patient is released from a psychological ward, Yakuti Anenga Arichi sanction and all of that, I can are released from a community by experts. What does that tell you?
And All right, let's come to the end of the Maanzi Kupenga Kunema levels, but that's for another day. I think for today, Mason, thank you. Do you have any remarks that you can give, or you want to continue with Mkoa Simba?
Oh no, that's fine, Mr. Mawere. If the show is finished, I mean that's okay. But on a
No,
side note,
it doesn't have to be finished,
okay,
because I'm just one of many people. So I can leave you on it, because there are people who maybe we are different time zones. You still have an hour behind,
okay, all right,
so you can take it on.
right. Who is controlling the buttons? The Mr. Mawere. Who is it? Is it Mkoma Masimba? Because I can't see what he's doing at the moment.
It's Mkoma Masimba.
Because everything things he has to be structured. Atifani kungeta says no the tilikubawa maiketa. Saka we need to be structured. What are we talking about? We don't want to lose and confuse.
I think the issue that we're talking
Okay,
about.
Mason.
Yes, sir. Yes.
My brother, this journalist, kanyora story yangu aramba kupublisha. Then adzoka back nema questions and answers. I don't want to be a pop star. I want the journalist to focus on what is my message, not about Masimba. What is Mkoma Masimba saying? That is journalism. It's not about me. He wants me to be a pop star now. I'm not a pop star. I'm just an individual. I'm sorry, Ben Zozang. You see? Can you see my journalist there? Namnyora nyangu na daisa wa Facebook kwangu hapa. Namutumira. Abapa publish nyati. As because audience yedu uri benzi vamwe vanozoti kudii. Saka iwo chipindura mubvunzo dzedu. Now you want to make me a pop star now. If I answer your questions, wakunondi publisher Mkoma Masimba and a pop star now. I don't want that, man. Everyone is a pop star. Right? In the world of benzini. Tuba tukunezana mind kwalo ndara neta sen kwalo kuza Mason pano neta sia. Lopindura mpunzo oro ongo ya pano pa live voti pudza makwete zake pano pa live.
Right, thank you. Right, thank you very much. Now, Mr. Mawere, I think we've got a structure. We know where we're heading now. It's about questioning, and you have a critical analysis, journalism of Zimbabwe, or journalism, this journalistic industry in Zimbabwe. This is where we are heading with this. This is the trajectory of this show. We can carry on with Mkoma Masimba on this trajectory, and and making their comments. Mr. Mawere.
Ndara neta sena journalist Ndara. You mentor wangu Ndara. What do you think? What do you think? What do you see? How do you see this? Hello?
I can hear you, but I don't know where Mr. Mawere is. Mr. Mawere, are you there, sir?
Ndara.
Right, Mkoma Masimba, it appears as if it's just me and you. Running of Adona, Mr. Mawere.
Okay, can you hear me, Mason?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to my Facebook live now.
Oh, okay. And I go Facebook. Do I not join a Congo?
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Zimbabwe. That's not the Zimbabwe I want. Dara. Dara Dora.